I'm aware. I'm aware. Yes, we need to update our show open and we need to do all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. But that's for people who get paid and have time or have producers that can do that for them. We're just a couple of schlubs that do this when we get a chance, when we can squeeze it in. Squeeze it in, Ben.
Tap it in. Tap it in.
Are they really remaking that movie? Is it really going to be like all these years later, like Happy Gilmore 2?
Well, yeah, the guy who plays Shooter McGavin has lost. He's run out of money. That's all he's ever done besides Grease 2, and nobody remembers him in Grease 2.
Julie Bowen, like she landed a good gig on that show, the TV show that ran forever. What was that,
Yeah,
like Modern
that's true.
Family or whatever?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't in anything for the longest time, and all of a sudden she's on there, and like must have made some good coin. So good on her. Now Adam Sandler, damn, that dude's made a ton of money.
I can safely say I've never seen Modern Family.
No Modern Family, not even with Ed O'Neill, Ekka's favorite, Ed O'Neill.
Never seen it. Don't care.
Sofia Vergara. Julie Bowen, famous from Happy Gilmore 1.
Never seen it.
Wow. I saw it a couple times.
Never seen it.
Anyway, what we saw was Packers winning 10 wins. And are we still complaining? They're 10-4. Are we still complaining?
I have a nit and a pick.
They dominated the Seahawks in Seattle.
Did they?
The scoreboard said they did.
I have a nit and a pick.
Okay.
This is my.
I have a beef for tonight, and it hurts my heart to give this beef. But what's your nit?
I don't have a beef. Here's the thing that I noticed about the game.
All right.
Think back to all the big plays that happened, and all the things that pretty much helped the Packers win the game. None of them really were schematic plays. They were players making plays, which is very, very good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm happy about that. But there were no like cool play calls that got a guy open for a touchdown or a whatever. You know what I mean? Like there were some plays, a lot of sweeps. I'm really getting sick of that really slow fake the reverse, then hand it to Josh Jacobs 5 seconds later when there's 25,000 guys in his face. I really hate that play. Can we stop running it, please?
People are onto it. It worked good that first week. They did.
It works. It only works good against defensive lines that suck and don't penetrate. If you play against a defensive line that's actually good and has like even one guy who can penetrate, it blows up the play. It's dumb. It's a dumb play. It always has been a dumb play. It only worked because they played crappy defensive lines. But that's not what I'm getting into. What I'm getting into is this. Think of all the plays. I mean, I got some video to show, but I just think that most of the plays, like without Edgerrin Cooper coming back, and Romeo Doubs coming back, I don't know if we win the game. Like those two guys were humongous, making awesome plays all over the place.
Yeah.
Valentine, I can tell you for sure, after watching the All-22, screwed up on multiple plays.
LaFleur said he's vacated. He's coming along. He's really
okay. I'm telling you, he vacated his assignment on multiple plays. But one of the ones that he vacated his assignment on was his interception.
Yep.
So that's good because it's great. But like, you know, those are the things that I noticed was that it just seemed like there was like, you know, like last year, like, you know, Jordan Love had a bunch of touchdowns, right? 30 something touchdowns last year.
Yep.
I'd say at least 20 of his touchdowns were Matt LaFleur specials where it was like, you know, the guy, it was either a really cool play that got like, you know, any Luke Musgrave touchdown was a wide open touchdown because of Matt LaFleur's special, because it wasn't like he was doing anything to get there. So that's a thing. But also the Jaden Reed reverses and the fake, you know, little 2-yard shuffle throw in front of you, and then he runs it all the way. There's Dad right there. Dad, we were wondering what was going on with you here.
Dad doesn't text me back, but he shows up for the show. All right, good to see you, Dad.
Good. Anyways, but
hey, so text me back next time. What the hell?
That's the only thing I'm worried about. Is the good news is our players showed up and played, so like made plays, and it was great to see. You know, I mean, Kingsley Enagbare pretty much destroyed the whole series by himself.
Yeah,
that was awesome. So, you know, and like I said, Romeo Doubs, Tucker Kraft had a channeled his inner Richie Rogers on one play where Jordan Love just chucked up some crap and then
Yeah.
he just jumped up and grabbed it like a big tight end would do, like Richie Rogers, and that was awesome. Christian Watson.
Watson made some
Christian
tough
Watson,
catches.
he found his Jordy Nelson and did a toe tap swag on the 40-yard deep pass. So yeah, all those things happened, but they're all like, they weren't schemed up plays. They were like, the guy made an awesome play.
Mm.
And that's what concerns me a little bit. So hopefully, if they can combine the guys making plays with the schemed up plays, we got a team then, right? Then we got some stuff going on. But that's all.
Yeah. I will just say this. That was something that stuck out to me too, is I was thinking back to a bunch of these things and I'm like, okay, Christian Watson making some crazy catch on the sideline. Romeo Dobbs making some shoestring catch in the back of the end zone. Romeo Dobbs making some other crazy catch. It started to feel more and more like the Aaron Rodgers stuff.
I know.
And not the plays where guys can do something after they catch it. And like you said, guys weren't schemed open. And I'm just kind of like, what's going on here? What is going on here? Do you have any evidence from the video? Do we see are they just running straight a lot of times? There's no creativity or what's happening in the passing game?
I don't know. Do you want to watch videos already?
We will in a second. But that was something that struck, especially the Watson play and a couple of the Dobbs stuff. I'm like, and then can I just say it?
Say it.
One of the things I think is the dumbest inside the 10 play call, dumbest play that I absolutely hate, is the outside fade to some dude on the outside. I just hate it. Like, it's really hard to complete. I get it. You got to maybe just a one-on-one and you're looking for your guy to make a play and all of that. I wonder, is my internet running down? What's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway,
acting kind of weird.
Ooh, I always act weird. But anyway, the point here is it's just weird to me that so many teams call it. I don't like it at all because it's hard. It's hard to complete. It's much easier to run that play as a slant. Like, and I get the playoff leverage. They're like, okay, so the defensive back lines up on the inside shoulder to try to take away the slant. Okay, fine. We'll just beat them to the inside then. I don't care. Like, why do you make that dictate a way more difficult throw and a way more difficult catch on a play? I would much rather see a slant inside the 10.
Did the Packers even run that play?
Yes. Yes, they did.
I guess I didn't even notice.
And so many teams do, and I hate it.
I don't think they ran it. I don't think they ran this last game at all. I think you're just saying a bunch of stuff that makes no sense.
No, it's dumb, and it's true. And I hate the play. I would rather
I don't mind the play. I mean, in fact, Malik Heath has a touchdown on that play.
I freaking hate it. I'd rather do a guy in the flat. I'd rather do, play action, Tucker Kraft in the flat than that. Way more than that. Or
what about
maybe
Tucker
a
Kraft
combo
on the outside?
Tucker Kraft on the slant and, Tucker Kraft going to the flat while somebody runs a slant, flat slant, or whatever the hell it was. One of the staples, right? I like it. But anyway, I just hate that play. All right. Mm-hmm. I do have some things about the game, but Cooper or Cali Packers right here. Look at this. Cooper, man. We need Walker back healthy too. I don't know about that, Kelly. Well, actually we do. And that's my beef tonight is we do need Walker, I guess. But you don't want to hear it, but Jair too.
I think Eric Stokes had maybe his best game ever.
I think so too. He tried to come up and make plays. He forced some guys back inside a few times. He got
tough. He got tough one time when a guy fell down out of bounds, and he pretended like he was the guy who did it, and then he got all tough. Yeah. And I was like, "You better watch it. You're going to get a call for penalty for shoving a guy out of bounds, you dummy."
Yeah. Hey, Eric Stokes.
There's a play that everybody's talking about that I have video of that I don't think it was that big of a hairy deal, but the way Andy Herman and Justice Mosqueda or whoever the guy's name, whatever, they were talking about it like it was some hilarious ding-dongy thing that happened. It didn't really look any different than any normal Eric Stokes play. So I don't know what they're talking about. But
well, I know we don't tend to go into conspiracies as far as our former quarterback and all that sort of stuff. But I do.
Come on, dude.
I do have this one. Do you think?
No.
As a Packer fan, ask yourself this. Do you think Matt LaFleur is holding Jair Alexander out right now? Do you think he's keeping him from not getting on the field and screwing up what's going on right now? Because it seems like they're doing pretty good without him. They really are doing pretty good without him. And
I
he's
think
a pain in the ass.
I think after the
Johnny.
game where Jair played like 3 plays or 5 plays or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and then took himself out of the game, now they are extra cautious because they're like, no, I'm serious. So that they don't even want to dress him unless they know for sure he's ready to go. That's what I think is going on.
I don't want to dress him. He could go. He could take a hike, as far as I'm
I
concerned.
don't know, man.
No, I wish. Do you see Sully got a knee injury now? God damn it!
Yeah, I know he didn't play the other day. I saw that. He wasn't.
First,
I watched
I go and talk about last
I
week.
watched the
about how
Bills
he's
Lions
never
game.
injured and all that.
I know.
God
I watched the
damn
Bills
it.
Lions game and he wasn't out there, so I was like, "Oops."
But he'll probably be back in like a couple weeks or something. Maybe 1 week.
Maybe.
But anyway, look, I think. Like, do I want Stokes out there? No. Do I want Valentine out there? Not really. Do I want? I don't know. I might be.
Here's what I will say is
Rochelle corners.
I don't want Jair to not play, and then all of a sudden in the playoffs they play him like they did with him and Za'Darius in the classic Za'Darius last year that he was at the Pack, where he didn't play all freaking year, and then all of a sudden the playoff game, then he's I'm ready, I'm okay, I'm healthy to play now, and then him and Jair were both out, and then they both played in that game and screwed everything up, and then we lost.
Yeah. All right.
So I
guess
don't want that.
Okay, hang on, Callie. I'm getting back to you. But what I will say is this: I want Bullard back so Keyshawn can play on the outside because Keyshawn's doing great. Like Keyshawn is doing great. He's playing pretty damn good. He's playing against the run. He's coming up making tackles. He's attacking plays on the outside. He's covering pretty damn well. Like Keyshawn is doing pretty damn good for a Packer cornerback standard.
He's doing pretty good. He had a really dumb play.
Yeah. But he's still.
I might have it on video because I looked at it.
Guys. Now, okay, I'll just explain it to you. Okay, so here we go. Some comments. Lee would keep him out, see if Stokes is worth it, and see what Valentine has. Who we do need him for the playoffs healthy. Guys, seriously. Okay, let's talk about this. Saving him for the playoffs. Okay, he opens things up for Xavier. Come on, dude. Come on. Okay, listen here. Here's the situation with Jair. Okay, here's the big problem. If the Packers see anybody that wants to run the ball in the playoffs, he's an extreme liability.
Well, all those guys are,
and we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose.
Stokes, Valentine, and Jair are all liabilities in the running game. It's not a surprise.
That's why we need Keyshawn on the outside, and we need Bullard back, and we need Evan Williams, and we need.
Well, there's still going to be one of those 3 ding dongs is going to be on one side. They'll just run to that side every time.
Oh, man. Anyway, and you know what? It's fine. He's not worse in coverage than these other guys, but he's not really better. So anyway, whatever. We'll see. I'll let him prove it himself, but he's never available either. So he's definitely not worth whatever they're paying him. Okay, what do you got for videos here? You want to start with something? Got something in particular?
I got offense, I got defense, and I got So which one do you want?
Let's do some offense.
Oh, that was the wrong one.
All right, let's do defense. Let's do defense. We were just talking about defense. Let's do defense.
That's why I figured we do defense.
Yeah, let's do it. Unfortunately, defense might bring me to my beef though, but
that's good. Then we can do your beef right away.
Freaking mad.
Why are you so mad? What's wrong?
Because I get pissed when I believe in a guy and then he stinks. And he was doing good, and then all of a sudden he stinks it up, and it makes me mad.
Who do you believe in that he stinks?
I'll tell you in my beef.
Does it start with a...
Hey, Kenny Clark got a jolt at the beginning, and then he just kind of faded away again. But at least he looked fast or hustling.
He got a jolt. I have some video of Kenny Clark getting a jolt, but not in the way you think it is. Yeah. Because you know me, I gotta show some good old Kenny Clarks.
Now, did you listen to Kingsley pronounce his name? Kingsley?
No, I didn't, but I want to.
Enagbare.
Enagbare, okay.
Yeah. Enagbare.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Even though he said it, literally, he said it. They had him saying it while they introduced the defense. And then Mike Tirico said it wrong.
Still said it wrong the whole game.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right. Here's the video. Here we go.
That's all right. I mean, when Rasul Douglas
It
got
happens.
traded, Goody called him Rasul Douglas. So we know why Andy Herman is still calling him Rasul to this day. That's fine. His name is really Rasul.
Rasul.
But keep saying it wrong every time. Okay, here we go. Here's some defense. We're gonna start off with some defense. You got some video up there? What?
Yep, you're up. And
we're gonna watch. This is half speed. Everybody, half speed, as we all know. Oh, that's some good. That's some good stuff. Let's watch.
Were you still pissed about the helmets? Were you still pissed?
They need to be a yellow strip in the middle. It looks freaking stupid.
Damn it. Okay, go ahead.
It looks better than the Vikings outfits. Did you see theirs? They had no yellow. It was just white and purple, hardly any purple, and then they had silver, which just blends into the white. You couldn't even see it, like from far away. So it looked they just looked like they were just white.
This was an interesting game. I mean, the Seahawks wearing the super bright, crazy green.
Yeah, that's some ugly looking. That's
whitey whites. Okay.
Yeah, it was just weird. So all we're gonna look at is right here. Watch TJ Slaton. He kind of gets double teamed, and the center is like, "Oh, I think he's got him." So then he decides to move on to the next level, and TJ Slaton's like, just takes this dude and slaps the poo out of him, and then smacks the crap out of the running back. Right here, watch this. Boom, and then he gets up and he does the Gravedigger.
Come on,
right here, watch.
No!
Oh, it cuts it off. But anyways, he started doing the Gravedigger. It was awesome.
He had some good plays in this game for sure. TJ did.
Okay, so this is a play I want to show because what we want to watch is over here. 53 is what's his name? What's his name? Crap! How do we not know his name?
I'll remember his name. I'll look it up.
Aaron Mosby. That's
Mosby,
it.
Is that him?
Anyways, he's where Preston Smith would be normally, right here.
Right. Yeah, I like it.
You're gonna watch him drop back in coverage, and the tight end is gonna come across, and he's gonna pick him up and cover him.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, this is so crazy. Like we watch Preston Smith just go back and just stand there and just look at everybody and do nothing and not move, right? You're gonna watch this guy's gonna drop back, tight end's gonna come in front of him, and he's gonna cover him. So it's beautiful. Let's watch this. Just watch the 53. Watch him. He goes back in coverage. He's in his zone. He's in his zone.
Ooh.
The tight end's coming, and he's like, "Oh, hey, there's a tight end. I'm gonna cover him."
Ooh!
And he breaks up the pass.
I like it.
Cornerback one. There's our cornerback one right there.
Aaron Mosby. Yeah. What is he at? 6'3", 250? He's 250? Jeez. Damn. Out of Fresno State? Okay. I see you, Aaron Mosby. Nice.
All right. Now I got to have my token Kenny Clark play. So we're going to watch.
Clark, is this one of his dominant ones or not of his?
Oh, it's not. We're going to watch Kenny Clark. He's going to see this tight end right here? This is the same. I know it's a different tight end that it was just covered, but this tight end's going to come across and smack the piss out of Kenny Clark and beat his ass. And then Kenny Clark's going to get all tough and headbutt him. And he should have got a penalty for it, but he didn't because he's Kenny Clark, apparently. So just watch Kenny Clark get his ass kicked by a tight end. This high-paid superstar, Kenny Clark, by some random tight end on the Seahawks who nobody's ever heard of. Here he goes. Get the shit out, Kenny Clark. And then watch him. And he still fucking beats the shit out of Kenny Clark.
Oh!
And then watch Kenny Clark get up, headbutt.
He's mad. He got his ass kicked. By tight end?
Yeah, tight end.
What?
Kicked the shit out of Kenny Clark.
Come on.
Tight end kicked the shit out of Kenny Clark. Sorry, everybody. Clark? I just showed that it's not. I'm not telling you that he's not good. I'm just telling you that he's not good. I'm showing you that he's not good. I just showed you. Kenny Clark got his ass kicked.
Quay can't get the runs to the outside all the time. Quay and Cooper. Just saying.
Yeah. All right. This is Cooper's blitz.
Corner's got to tackle.
There's something I want to. There's two things we want to look at here.
All right. What is it?
All right. If you look at the bottom of your screen here, now in this play, it's a zone. Earlier in this drive, okay, they ran the same exact play, and the receiver went over here and they threw it, and he was wide open. So this is the second time, and Valentine has figured it out this time, and he would read the pass and probably would have picked this crap off. But Edgerrin Cooper got in on the blitz and sacked Geno Smith, so it didn't matter. But it's interesting to see how this earlier in the game here, Valentine has already kind of got his eyes on the quarterback. Now this is a zone play, but later on it's going to be man. But he's already looking for the ball, so I just wanted to show that off.
Hold on. Oh, okay, never mind.
See, the ball's not going. It's a sack, but I'm just showing you what happened. Why it was a sack.
Yep.
It was because he saw that Valentine was looking at him, and he was like, "Ah, crap." Because last time Valentine wasn't paying attention earlier in the drive. I didn't show that play, but so now you get this is the same play, just from a different angle. You got Cooper on the blitz. I think Kenny Clark does a stunt and he goes around. I can't remember exactly what happens, but nope. He's supposed to get Kenny Clark around. That's right, but Kenny Clark's too slow. And then Cooper's like, all right, I'll just take him down then.
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah. That was crazy. What Cooper had like 35 snaps or something. He did all that in like 35 snaps.
Yeah.
All the stuff he did. That's pretty awesome.
And the Packers were in this defense a lot. Now they switched it up. They made it look differently, and then they came back to it again. But they do this a lot where they have this 5 guys down and 2 guys deep. But this is going to be Cooper's interception. He's right here at about the 40-yard line. And it's just Sam Howell's an idiot and just doesn't see him. He doesn't really move from his spot. He just throws it right to him. I don't know what he was doing.
Right.
But we'll take it. It wasn't anything spectacular that Cooper did. But he made the play. He caught it, made the play. That's what more can you ask for from a guy, right?
Right.
So that's some good plays. He's showing some good plays. We're showing some Kenny Clark bad plays. And then I just want to talk one more thing. So Andy Herman and Justice Mosqueda, I think is what his name is. They were talking about this Eric Stokes play, about how it was the rushing touchdown that the Seahawks scored. And apparently Eric Stokes didn't have his mouthpiece in. And then when he saw that the run was coming to his side, he tried to put the mouthpiece in, but he didn't quite get it in. And then he realized, I better go and try to at least make a tackle. And then when he did the run up there, then he got smacked by an offensive lineman. And then his mouthpiece went flying out of bounds or something. And the way they talked about it, it was like some hilarious thing and also really bad and stupid. And I'm like, well, it just looks, and I watched it, and you watch it from far. Here's Stokes up here on the top of the screen.
Okay.
And you can see his mouthpiece right. If you have your screen big enough, you can see his mouthpiece hanging down right here, not in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not uncommon. A lot of guys don't have their mouthpiece in their mouth, but they have them on the, yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah. See, there's just flopping around in front of his face like a ding dong. Well, so is if you look back here, so is so I don't know. It looks like any other Eric Stokes play.
This play, what? They made a big deal about that.
Well, apparently his mouthpiece went flying, but look at right here. Look at 29. His mouthpiece is not in either, flopping around. It's the same thing. I mean, look at his is flopping around. Yeah. So this is supposed to be our superstar. He's like, and they made a big stink about, and they went on and on about Eric Stokes. Just wear your. He's like, look, and they're like, any kids watching this show, make sure you wear your mouthpiece. It's supposed to protect your teeth so they don't get damaged. It's supposed to protect you from biting down and biting off your tongue. It's supposed to protect you in a freaking concussion situation. Blah 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 blah. And they made a big stink about how Eric Stokes is a moron for not wearing this mouthpiece. And then here you got freaking Xavier McKinney on the exact same play, not wearing his mouthpiece. So I guess he's a moron too.
They got a million guys. Jaden Reed never wears it, and it flops around. All these guys, a bunch of these guys in the league. Brian Branch sticks it on the top of his helmet and just lets it sit in his helmet.
But I mean, look at this is they know what they're doing. They ran to the 2 non-mouthpiece guys. Those are the 2 guys who don't want to get in the mix.
And they're not physical, neither.
No, that's why they don't wear their mouthpiece, because they're like, I don't plan on being physical on this play. McKinney, like if you're not wearing your mouthpiece, you're not planning on being physical.
Yeah, McKinney had some tackles, but again, like barely hanging on to guys. I think was there one play in this game he tried to get physical and just got his ass kicked, I think.
Probably, who knows?
I remember that. This play pissed me off because Eric Wilson was late. He was slow getting over there.
Eric Wilson.
He was late. He was slow getting over there, and he was late.
Eric so those Wilson, are my defensive plays.
All right. God. Now I got it. Lee brings this up, and Lee, fine, man. You're going to do it now. Here you go, Lee. You got to bring me to my pain. My frickin' pain, Lee.
Man, I got a beef to pick with you.
You want some beef or what?
Yo, what's your beef?
Come on, man.
All right. My beef this week is pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Lee's question here. What do you guys think of Eric Wilson? He had a couple bad plays. He had a bunch of bad plays, Lee.
Oh, that's not.
Quay
nice.
Walker
Don't
gets
say that.
hurt. Quay Walker gets hurt. And I'm like, yeah, all right. We got Eric Wilson coming in. Because at first, Eric Wilson wasn't hired playing because Cooper's back. And I'm like, Cooper's back. Okay. Cooper's doing good. McDuffie's McDuffie. McDuffie just tackles everything and does all the stuff. You got to have him in there because he reads plays, attacks, and tackles everybody, even though he's like the lightest linebacker they have, but he's the most physical. Read that one. I don't get it, but whatever.
No, Cooper's pretty physical. He just doesn't wrap up.
And then Quay gets hurt, and I'm not celebrating he's hurt, but I'm like, okay, well, Eric Wilson's coming in. This will be good. This will be good. Eric Wilson got a chance to come in, and he had no impact. Zero impact. And not only zero impact, like on that last play you showed, he was late reading stuff. He was slow getting to stuff. He wasn't reading and attacking. It's just disappointing. My beef was a couple weeks ago, went to bat for this guy, showed you all the stuff he's done in his career, said this guy should be starting. He played awesome a couple of games, right? And every chance he was getting. And then now he gets a chance to come into a game and show what he can do. And where was it? He was mic'd up the week before, I think, or 2 weeks ago. And he's a good guy, you know. He's for the team. I love all that stuff. But you got to perform. You got to perform when given the opportunities, especially if you want to earn your way, especially when you got a guy like Cooper coming in and tearing it up. You want to still get some snaps. You got to perform, Eric Wilson. And we're going to need you, especially if Walker isn't back. So what happened? Put yourself in this position. This is also why it makes me upset. You're a guy who was the Vikings cast aside, bounced around a bit, hanging out on the Packers, get a chance to play a little bit. Okay, here and there. Sign for not much money. What is your reason for coming in and not playing your ass off, not playing your hardest? I did not see him play with the effort that I'm used to seeing him play with, and I don't know why. And that's what bothered me. That's my beef for this week. I went to bat for a guy, thought he was awesome. I still think he's an awesome guy, but he did not perform in this game. It was disappointing, very disappointing, and extra disappointing to me because I was actually happy he got in the game. So I thought it was going to be an upgrade, and it wasn't an upgrade. It was a downgrade.
Here's the thing I would say. If you compare it to another guy last week who a younger, a little bit younger, way more talented player was coming back at his position and starting, and then he got hurt and then was told to go in the game, and he was like, nah, that's okay, coach. I don't want to go in the game. At least Eric Wilson went in the game and played. Unlike the great Devondre Campbell, who for the 49ers said, nah, I don't want to play. And we all know from watching the Packers last year and the year before, he didn't really play when he was out there anyways. He didn't do anything. And also know from when we played the 49ers this year, it was great when he was out there and playing for the 49ers because he sucked and we just went at him. But sometimes, Jace, guys just have a bad game. It's like the opposite of Kenny Clark. The Packers played the Lions, and Kenny Clark had the best game of the year. Every other game, he sucks. Then he had one good game. Eric Wilson usually has good games. He had one bad game. It's just, it happens.
I hope that's all it was. I hope he didn't feel 100% or was just kind of thrown off.
That's all it was.
But forgot, it's guys like that though. It's like you're an outcast. You're not one of the guys that's going to get a chance. You're not going to get many opportunities, right? You got to prove yourself over and over again just to get opportunities. So that's the other part for me. That's a problem. It's like, dude, you got to make it work. You got to make it count every time because that's the only way the coaches are going to let you keep playing. And that's what McDuffie's been doing, and they can't get him off the field. Doesn't matter who the hell comes back. McDuffie's still got to be out there. They know it. Halfley knows it. Right? He doesn't let the opportunities slip away. And I got to see that from Eric Wilson too, because we are going to need him. Right, Lee? You're right, Lee. We're going to need him. Quay Walker's had issues with concussions repeatedly. He's had some other issues. Like, he can't really stay healthy. So he goes out in a big game or a playoff game or whatever. You're going to need somebody to step in and play good linebacker. And it's not like we got a whole bunch of linebackers on the team either. You know, we got the guys we got, and that's pretty much it. You're not scooping up anybody off the scrap heap or somebody else's practice squad that's going to be any good. So we need all these guys to perform. We need the linebackers to be impactful because of the way this defense has to play. And because our corners are so weak at tackling, we need those linebackers to be quick to the outside, fast and physical all the time against the run, especially. So that all has to happen. We need them all. I do love the way Cooper played. I think everybody probably does, but I mean, I was impressed. Just the speed was evident. You know, they kept talking him up. We're looking at a budding superstar and all that. Maybe. I mean, he's got to stay healthy too. He's been hurt already how many times this year, but you know, got to stay on the field. But I like what I see when he's on the field.
That's nice. You make me big right when I'm yawning. Genius.
Here, wait. Do it again. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Wait,
what about my beef?
Well, so Kenny Clark. Oh, you got one? Okay. What do you got? Do I play the intro again? Do we need part of it just to get you in the mood?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you just the music here.
Man, I got a beat to pick with you.
You want some beef or what?
Yo, what's your beef?
Come on, man.
All right. What was your problem this week, other than the white stripe, no yellow stripe on the helmet? Change.
No, that was my beef last time when they did. I can't do that again.
I know. Go.
My beef is with Matt LaFleur.
Great coach, second winningest coach in the history of all time.
Who does Matt LaFleur say is his all-time favorite Packer player that he ever coached, besides Mercedes Lewis for some reason that nobody understands? But who's the other one?
Did he say Devondre Campbell?
No, you idiot. Who is it?
Well, I don't know. I didn't hear it. What was
I'll
it?
give you a hint. He's on the Vikings right now and kicking ass.
Oh, Aaron Jones? Okay,
Aaron
yeah.
Jones. Have you ever seen Aaron Jones get the ball like 10 times in a fucking row? Ever in the history of him being a freaking Packer? But Josh Jacobs, slow ass, gets it 75,000 times in a row. And gradually over the game, he got slower and slower and sorrier and sorrier. He started off hot. We were like, holy cow, this guy's going to destroy everybody. And then by the third quarter, he was like fumbling and freaking stumbling and getting 2 yards of carry and stinking up the joint. Listen. Why could we not use Aaron Jones that way when he was there?
Because they'll say he wasn't durable enough. He would have got hurt.
Bullshit crap.
That's what they'll say.
Bull crap. He was a dynamic, awesome guy who deserved to be treated with respect and treated as a number one awesome running back.
Yeah.
When he was younger, like when he was 2-3 years ago. Of course, now we had Aaron Rodgers at the time, so that was the reason. But that's my beef. My beef is that, like, wow, Josh Jacobs, 8 freaking touches the ball 9 times, and not even just runs, screen pass the outside. Yeah, he had a couple nice catches.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple decent runs in there. I'm not saying he sucks. I'm saying, why couldn't Aaron Jones get stuff like that? Why couldn't Aaron Jones be the focal point ever? But no, of course not.
He was once, remember, one season. Pretty much.
I'm not against Jacobs. I thought Jacobs played great. He had a couple good plays. But it's just, it bothered me because every time I was like, wow, really? Because after like the 5th time, I was like, really? A 6th play? Wait a minute, a 7th play to him? An 8th play to him? Then they finally took him out, put in Eric Wilson, and then Jordan Love ran the ball once, and then they brought Josh Jacobs in for the touchdown. And I was like, do we have anybody else on this team? No, it was awesome to watch them dominate like that, to just be like, we're going to just take your lunch and smack you in the face, and and they move the ball down and without even having to throw.
Yeah.
Which is more of a, I don't know, maybe that's more to say about Jordan Love than it is to say about Josh Jacobs, but I'm not going to get into that right now.
Oh.
But that's my beef. I would have loved to have seen Aaron Jones be utilized as a feature back, and he never really was, ever. They'd screw around, and then it'd be like a whole drive where he wasn't even out there.
Yeah.
But with Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson gets 1 carry, Brooks gets 1 carry, and Josh Jacobs gets 30 fucking carries or whatever he had in this game. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, do you want the guy to freaking his legs to fall off?
They better hope
I
he
don't
doesn't get hurt. I mean, I know he's been durable so far, but better hope he doesn't get hurt if that's
I don't know.
if that's where we're at.
I just think it's a bunch of crap, Matt LaFleur. I think you're full of crap. And there you go. Okay, that's my beef. I'm done.
I get it. I'm trying to think back to last year. Once Jones came back, I know he had a number of games where he had like 20 plus touches, right? And those are all the games he lit
There
up.
was one game where he had
Just one
20
game?
touches. Yes.
Okay.
And they dominated, of course.
Right. But I mean, it was perplexing to me because I was like, okay, you're not even offering this guy a contract or whatever the situation was. You think he's going to be gone anyway. So why don't you use him? Just use him. Right. And they would always try to protect him. Oh, we got to protect him and watch his touches and blah, 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 and all that. But yeah, it would have been nice to see what he could have done if given those same opportunities. Now, let's talk about the beginning of this game since you brought it up. And I don't know what you got for offensive video, but Packer fans, anybody out there who might watch this, throw your comments in after. People who are on live, throw them in. What did you think of that first drive? What did you think of those first 2 drives?
I thought, thank you, Matt LaFleur, for finally not being a moron and taking the ball. How many times did they win the coin toss? And then he's like, oh, we'll kick it. No.
That's what they've been doing lately. The last couple of games they've been taking it.
Good, because that's what they should have been doing all year, because their team is designed to have the lead. That's what their defense is. They don't want to stop the run. They got pass rusher guys. They got crazy stuff like that. You want to freaking run the ball. That's the other thing. When you get behind, then you take away the whole running game, which is what we're one of the best at in the whole league. So you should want the ball to start with, and you should run it down their throat right at the start, which is what they did. And it was about time Matt LaFleur was smart and did what he's supposed to do.
So
Not let your $55 million quarterback touch the ball because he stinks, and then let Josh Jacobs take care of it all because he's good.
Now I've played football, right? And so I get this can happen. I get things can change quick. I get a team. It can be the same exact team, and all of a sudden you can look way better or look way worse in a hurry. But what the hell happened? Like, how did the Packers dominate the line of scrimmage, run the ball right in the face of the Seahawks for those first couple of drives, and then just after that couldn't barely run it at all? And I didn't see a lot of schematic it's not like I saw 8-9 guys in the box for the Seahawks in the latter part of the game when they were shutting down the run. I just saw the Packers offensive linemen getting their butts kicked and all of a sudden not able to block guys like they were. And Jacobs wasn't breaking any tackles, and he was getting 1.5 yards a carry after that fast start. So what happened?
They weren't really blocking that great at the beginning either. To be
Really?
honest.
I thought they were at least getting movement. I thought the line of
Josh
scrimmage
Jacobs. A little bit, maybe.
okay.
And Tucker Kraft had a couple plays where he kind of snuck in and then chipped the guy right in the right exact, the perfect moment for Josh Jacobs to sneak off his butt and get 3 more yards that way. But in the second half, Tucker Kraft wasn't blocking as good. The offensive line wasn't doing as good. The Seahawks defensive line was getting pissed, so they were mad at the fact that they got ran over at the beginning, and they were like, no, we're not doing this anymore. And, I mean, they had Jaden Reed, who's, we all know he played good. He was a Packer, and Jaron Reed, yeah. And he's still playing great with the freaking Seahawks. He's back with them again, and
damn,
he's been there for the last couple of years, and he looks great. But I didn't really, I guess I kind of watched the All-22. I had to do it really fast today because you told me, oh, we're going to do the show 4 hours ago. And I'm like, awesome, thanks, buddy. And then I'm like, shit, yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing most days, so you gotta. That's a big heads up for me.
So, anyways, I don't know.
Animals. I think you're gonna move Maroon 5 song right there. Anyway,
No.
Does any of your offensive video show passing plays or running plays? What do you got here mostly?
I don't know. Let's look at it here in a sec.
Because
let me know when it's up. I think it's mostly passing plays. It's one running play, and all the rest are all passing plays.
I don't
And
know
they're
what
all
happens
they're mostly
with
good.
Romeo Dobbs. Like Romeo Dobbs, what's his deal?
I don't know. Sometimes he just
Damn.
that one game. Remember, we talked him up, and then he came back the next game and dropped balls and played like
I
crap.
know. What the hell, dude?
And then, did you see his interview after the game?
I didn't see it. No,
He is the worst interview of all time.
he's bad. I mean, I knew he was not good.
I
but-
think he was always bad before, but now he like is so careful on what he's going to say. He has to
Oh.
listen. He listens to every question, like really intently, and then he waits like 10 seconds before he even says anything. And what he does say is so boring that I want to fall asleep. It's so bad. Another thing that's really boring. You were talking about mic'd up earlier. Last week's mic'd up was Rasheed Walker.
What?
And it was terrible. Like why are we miking up
I thought
Rasheed
Xavier
Walker?
McKinney was in there too recently.
Maybe. I just watched the Rasheed Walker part because it was on Facebook and it showed up on my
Oh.
Facebook today. And I hardly ever go to Facebook. I went on there and all of a sudden, boom, there it was. And I was like, oh. And I was like, this is terrible. Like he doesn't say anything. He just gets grunty and whatever. And he says a couple things here and there, but you're like, wow. It ain't like George Kittle or Tucker Kraft. Those guys you get those two guys to do your mic'd ups. But anyways, that's here neither here nor there.
Not even in the ballpark. Lukey Patrick's mic'd up, huh?
I don't remember Lukey Patrick's mic'd up.
What? Damn it.
Because
Fine.
it was at the Bears. So I don't want to listen to that.
All right, your film is up. Offense says offense. on the
Offense. I don't even know if I spelled it right, but who cares? Here we go.
Doesn't matter. Spelled with a C or an S, whatever. Depends if
No,
you're
I think it's spelled an S.
British English or American English.
All right. Oh, this is the big Josh Jacobs catch
Ooh, okay.
from the end zone angle. He's going to juke this guy.
The guy's a good linebacker. What did he do in there? Damn.
Then he's going to watch this. He's going to teleport this way. Duck on it. Break a
Nice.
tackle over that
Ooh.
guy.
Good.
Break a
Double
run
up
over
the
this
ball.
guy. That was a
Pretty
great
good.
play.
That's
That
nice.
was a good play, Josh Jacobs. Beautiful, beautiful play. Now here's a Josh Jacobs run.
You know what's great? And you can listen to Kirk Herbstreit talk about how good Josh Myers is because he remembers him from college and doesn't really know he's terrible in the NFL.
I don't remember that part. You're going to watch on this play. It's going to be a run off of kind of like off left guard here, between left guard and left tackle, I think, somewhere in this area. And they're going to have a guy come in motion, and that's going to make the linebackers 13 and 48 shift their gap over and leave this gap open for the safety. He's going to have to come down and take care of it. And then you're going to watch Jenkins just smack the crap out of whoever the little guy he's got to block. And then Josh Jacobs is going to have a nice big hole to follow through. And Josh Myers just gets a piece of the big guy, 99, their best defensive lineman, just enough to make a play, I think. Or maybe it's, yeah, because then Zach Tom takes on this guy. Look at that. Now, Rasheed Walker gets beat to the outside, and he's holding him, but they don't call it. But he gets just enough of him to hold him off as Jenkins is taking on number 2, smacking him. And look, Josh Myers is doing a very good job against probably their best defensive player.
I think that might be Jaron Reed. That's 90.
Oh, it is Jaron Reed. Yeah, you're right. It's Jaron Reed.
Jaron Reed almost fast enough to catch Jacobs, though.
So Josh Myers took care of Jaron Reed on that play.
Wow. That he must have been pissed after that. I'd be pissed.
I'd be
Josh
really
Myers
pissed.
blocked me, I'd be pissed.
And this is the Romeo touchdown, the first one, where it's just Romeo making a play.
Did you see Romeo's abs? Was that
Yeah,
a real
holy crap.
shot?
I don't know, but it looked like the 300 or something.
I was like, what the hell? Is he really that ripped? No wonder he could run over those dudes, get in the end zone.
This is, and people are, and I heard Andy Herman say that Jordan Love had 0 turnover-worthy plays in this game. I beg to differ.
That's not true.
This is a turnover-worthy play. I mean, he's throwing this ball. If you look down here at the bottom of the screen, you got a wide open guy on this screen pass, right? At the top of the screen, you got a linebacker in the middle, you got a safety waiting here, and you got the guy hanging on freaking Romeo. Like, you should not be throwing this ball. And not only that, the linebacker kind of, for some reason, I don't know why he just misses it. He has his hands, he gets a chance to get his hand on the ball, and he just doesn't touch it. It goes right past him. Don't know why or how. And then Romeo carries this dude and runs into this guy and carries him too. and he uses those freaking monster abs to get in the end zone.
Jesus.
It was freaking awesome.
I know. That's a great play.
I was just like, holy crap, what just happened?
I did not expect that. We haven't had any receivers that could break tackles for a long time.
No, it was like amazing.
Jaden Reed can kind of sometimes, but
Yeah, but he ain't running over a guy.
no.
That was carry a dude and then run over a dude.
I know. That was crazy.
You're going to see pretty good pass protection. For some reason, Jenkins, I don't know what he's looking at. There was nobody else over here. He should have just kept helping here. I don't know what he just decides to not block anybody. Then, of course, that's where the pressure comes from. But look at how close that was.
Yeah.
Look at the line. Look at where the linebacker is. Look where the ball goes. I mean, that's risky. And Romeo catches it and tucks it in right away with guys all around him. Hangs on to the ball, takes him in the end zone.
6 or 7, and then damn, Romeo.
And how do you like the skull cap? I think that's good. That's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
he had after coming out of concussion, I don't have a problem with him wearing it whatsoever. He looks kind of goofy, but who gives a crap?
Yeah, it matches like his hair. He's got big hair. He's got an extra big helmet.
Yeah. And this is the Christian Watson, Jordy Nelson interpretation.
How the hell he caught this? I thought for sure he didn't actually catch it.
I didn't think he caught it either.
I was like, nah.
Even Wooden's like, yeah, he shoved me, he pushed me off.
But then when they showed it, I was like, God damn, I guess he did catch it.
I don't know what this is.
Sean Ryan feeling hurt, but now he's back. Yeah, that was a crazy catch by Watson. I'm amazed he caught it. I don't know. He's kind of a weird. He can kind of adjust to the ball sometimes when it's a bad throw. This is freaking ridiculous. Why? I thought for sure he didn't catch that either. I was like, "There's no way.
Know.
That's such a shitty ball. It's like so underthrown. Why? Just throw it."
I'm going to say something good about. I'll wait to say something good about Jordan Love until after.
I mean, if you're going to throw it there, keep it more in the. There's plenty of room. It's not like you had to throw it to the back of the end zone. It's not like you had to throw it so floaty. Just like drill that shit in there. That's ridiculous. But it also demonstrates. Remember what I was talking about like weeks ago? How good these receivers have gotten at like getting their hands on it and then turning their body quick. Because that's what he did there too, which is super smart. Because if you don't turn your body, you know your hands are going to hit the ground and it's going to probably pop the ball out. So they've gotten really good. They must practice that all the time about getting their hands on it and then turning their body quick so they don't, their body hits the ground and the ball stays on top.
Now, we're going to go to a recurring theme with my videos with Love Stinks.
Okay, we got the Love Stinks part.
But here's the thing. It's not bad. It's not like all stinks. Jordan Love in this game, when he was in the pocket and he had good mechanics and he was throwing from the pocket, I just showed you 3 awesome passes, like perfect strikes from in the pocket, perfect, nothing going on. Now we're going to watch some stinky stinks, okay? We're going to watch some Jordan Love on the run and not even throwing to the left this time, or when he's going to the left, he's going to be going to the right, but he just throws terrible. And I don't know how you can't call this a turnover-worthy play. And look at that. This, okay, let's watch what he does here one more time. Because it's mind-boggling. Watch Jordan Love. Watch him. Look at where he is when he lets this ball go. I mean, look at that. Off both of his feet. And look what he's throwing into. This is like a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
It's just a Hail Mary.
Can I?
Except it's only going 35 yards. Like, I don't know where he was, if he was trying to throw it deeper or what he was. And why are there 2 guys in the same spot on this play? I don't know, unless that was the play. Have 2 guys run to the sidelines and try to take everybody deep. And then maybe somebody over in the middle is going to, but why are both 2 guys in the middle? I don't know.
I think they're all supposed to be running just like verts,
straight on verts.
And then they saw the ball float up there, so they both were kind of.
So they both went to the middle. The 2 guys in the middle both went into the middle.
Yeah,
I don't know. It looks to me like they're both running to the middle.
Yeah, they're both running in the middle, right in the same spot.
Yeah, but they did it before the ball was thrown.
But weren't even running like crossers. They're just kind of.
I don't know what that was. But
that
Tucker Kraft,
that was lucky.
That was lucky, and it was a turnover-worthy play. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. I hate the play. Why are we? Why
I don't
is
know.
everybody
No,
just
it's-
running like that? It's dumb.
It was at the end of the first half, and they were trying to, whatever. Like, I don't
Okay,
think they were
well-
planning on ever having everything happen there, right? But
I don't.
it's kind of wackadoo. And thank gosh, Tucker Kraft's a
thing-
big guy.
Yeah, good thing he's bigger than all the other guys, and will actually go up and attack the ball. That's good.
But that's not a great decision. I can tell you that. That could have easily been picked off and returned for a touchdown.
25-yard Hail Mary. Yeah, that's it.
Now, here's another one. He's going to the sideline. He's running.
He's just run here.
Okay.
Oh,
And he's wide. There's nobody anywhere around him.
right.
And look at Christian Watson's got his guy beat by a yard, and he's
Christian
going to make
Watson
it
has
even
this
worse.
guy beat every time.
If this
like-
ball's thrown
Man,
further, like Justin Herbert would do, it's a touchdown. And here's the sad part: is they did not score a touchdown on this drive. They had to settle for a field goal. Had this been a good pass,
I remember.
it would have been a touchdown. But he can't throw it because look at his release. God damn it!
It's a shitty pass.
Why is he? Look at where his. Watch him, right there.
The other thing, right?
He's doing it
he-
as he's in the air instead of using his foot to help him push. His arm. He let the ball go while both feet were off the ground.
Right.
It's dumb. You should plant your freaking left foot and drive the ball. Plant your left foot and drive the ball as you're running. But he jumped in the air and threw it off like nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Matt LaFleur talks about pause it here at the end of this, how underthrown it is. Matt LaFleur talks about how they grade the quarterback all the time on footwork, how important the feet are. It always starts with the feet, blah, 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 blah.
Well,
Like
yeah.
on that play where he showed, okay, I get he rolled out to the right.
But there's nobody
was-
anywhere near him.
Nobody near him. And
Yeah.
you know you're going to throw a ball downfield. Set your feet and throw. You have the fastest guy on your team. Set your feet and actually throw a ball up there that will lead him and get out in front. And that's a touchdown.
And I would say this. I think his mechanics in the pocket have gotten much better.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something nice about him in a little bit. But now we're going to watch another play. It's the same type of thing. He's going to roll to the right, where a right-handed quarterback should be able to roll into his right a little bit better. He's not going to have any pressure on him. And he throws it
Yeah, got terrible.
behind. Now, he could say, oh, Rome should have stopped running, or I don't know. But you have to anticipate things. If he's moving, he can't just all of a sudden stop dead in his tracks when he's running full speed across the middle of the field.
Yeah, that was a terrible miss. I mean, he's so open there. You gotta just put it on him. There's no reason that ball should be high. There's no reason you need that much air on it. Just put it on him, right?
And look at that Christian Watson getting the helping out with the block there.
yeah. Again, set your feet and
Like-
put it on him.
I don't know what that was. And so that's two now that we're rolling to the right in a bad pass. And now we have another one. Now this one, he does have pressure on him as he's rolling to the right.
Ooh, Jaron Reed's coming, baby. Watch out. Coming to get you.
But he gets out of it.
Oh, you juke Jaron Reed. All right. Yeah, that's just
So is that, and I'm not trying to be a complete jerk.
Mhm, mhm.
What I'm saying is, in the pocket, I think he's doing much better. I think his mechanics are much better. But it's obvious when he's rolling out, he does not have the Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, even Aaron Rodgers style of play where he can get off. He can torque it, and it's all arm and wrist. He doesn't have the arm and wrist accuracy or even velocity and strength.
Mhm.
So are those things he can learn? I don't know. But he needs to learn what he's capable of doing, because at this point, he's not capable of doing those things. Now, he got out of the pocket. I would rather have seen him run a couple of those plays. Run
Sure.
for 10 yards. Like, he doesn't extend very many drives by running, where you see Patrick Mahomes do that all the time when they need to
Yeah.
do it. And he could chuck the ball and be crazy stuff, and he still will sometimes extend drives. The one thing I will say that's good is this. The Packers they gave up 0 sacks in that game. And a
Mhm.
lot of it was because Jordan Love was able to back up, avoid the blitz or avoid the pressure. And he does throw off his back foot in the pocket a couple times. But he's able to avoid that hit. He still gets hit, but he avoids the sack, right? Like, there was no sacks in this game. And it wasn't like the offensive line was doing a great job. They were letting guys get through quite a bit. But
Right.
Jordan Love did a very good job of avoiding the sack. And that's a skill. You know, being able to make guys miss you. And so I think he's progressing in that aspect. I think he's progressing in his pocket passes and his mechanics in the pocket when he has a good pocket around him. But his throws on the run are the things that are costing him right now, especially rolling to his right, which you would think as a right-handed quarterback, that's where you should be able to throw the ball as your best. I mean, Don Mikowski made a living out of that. He was the first to do it, really, back in the 80s. He was the first guy who was doing it constantly all the time. Was rolling to your right, chuck it like a crazy guy. And then Favre did it, and then everybody wanted to do it after that. But so that's just the one thing I would say. He's got to work on this because that's three wide open guys. One of them was a for sure touchdown. The other two were for sure first downs. And yes, the last one he had pressure and he got hit as he was throwing it. And so maybe that one hurts a little bit more. Like, I can understand that one doesn't bother me as much. But the Romeo Doubs one, and for sure the first Christian Watson one, where he just doesn't put enough on it. It's like, and I don't know if that's just he doesn't have the arm to do it. It seemed to me, like I said, he was jumping off the ground and throwing it off the ground, and you got to put your foot in the ground and twist and use your arm. And I can't throw, so don't ask me. But I just know from watching, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, those guys aren't jumping in the air and throwing freaking 50-yard bombs. They have to use the arm. They have to push off the ground and use that torque and then let it rip.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't just jump in the air and do it. Like that's not how you do it. So I don't know. He's got some work to do there.
Unfortunately, and hopefully, and Matt LaFleur could even go back and find some old footage of, from the last couple of years of Aaron Rodgers, and he could show him, look, what happens here is he's doing those things when he's keeping his feet off the ground when he doesn't need to, right? Where there's not guys around his legs or feet or, whatever, where he's trying to avoid that injury. Remember how Rodgers would do that, where he started thinking, oh, I'll just do this way all the time and not step into throws. And that makes you less accurate. No matter who you are, it makes you less accurate. It made Aaron Rodgers less accurate. Now he was still pretty accurate because he was like crazy accurate when he actually stepped into his throws and threw them properly. He was like ridiculous. But a guy like Jordan Love, who's not nearly as accurate, and then you make him less accurate, you get that stuff. You miss wide open dudes like those. I know he was 20. He had good numbers, 22 out of 29 or 27 or whatever it was, and all that after guys made some crazy catches.
Crazy.
But
that's the thing is I think the receivers were making plays in this game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love wasn't making plays, but I will say this, he was avoiding the rush, and that's making a play too, I guess. So I'm not going to say like he wasn't making plays, because that him avoiding getting sacked helped. Probably not, like we didn't have any drives that like stalled because of sacks or anything like that, or negative plays that way. Maybe we had a negative run one time. We had the Josh Jacobs fumble. And we had a couple of missed throws like this, but here and there. But there were no sacks. There were no negative plays that way. And that was good stuff. Sorry to interrupt you, but go ahead.
No, you're good. I just think the encouraging part is it's very correctable, right? It should be correctable because basically you can show them the tape. And you can say, look, set your feet here. There's nobody around you, right? When you see like, I get it when there's guys in the pocket or things are collapsing and you don't want to take that hit to your leg or expose your legs on the ground by having your foot planted. I get it. Okay. But when you're out in space, there's nobody around you, set your feet and throw the ball, and then you probably make a good throw to Dobbs or good enough to complete it. And you probably make good enough to throw to Watson, because that's the other thing that's just been mind boggling to me is Christian Watson is like beating guys deep pretty much every chance he gets. Like teams, if they're not rolling a safety over the top or playing way off him at the line, and some of these corners for whatever reason are not playing way off him, he's just going to run right past them. He doesn't have to do anything special. He just has to run fast, and he's open by a couple of yards. By the time
he gets faster,
right.
once he gets that initial yard past him, it turns into 2-3 yards really quick because he's so damn fast.
Yeah. So that's just easy pickings. Like just step your feet, just put a ball up there. Like you don't have to be super accurate. You got some wiggle room there because he gets so open. And those are big plays. And he'll also show you that if it's underthrown, like Lee put in the comments before, the ones he drops are the ones that are perfect that he's running in stride. If it's not perfect, it's almost better for him. So just throw it up there and let him adjust to it. Because those are the ones he catches.
Both of those pass, like he adjusted to that ball that was underthrown. Like,
yeah,
and that was one of the knocks on Christian Watson, I thought, in the past, was that he wasn't able to find the ball in the air and adjust to it. I think he's done that much better this year.
Yep.
If he could just catch everything, that'd be great. But like I said, he's, we went over that stat last week. Jaden Reed's got 9 drops this year, and Christian Watson has 8 drops his entire career. But when you think of a guy who drops passes, you always think of Christian Watson because they're always these freaking huge bombs, and you remember them because they should have been touchdowns. You don't think of the Jaden Reed drops because they're not that big a deal. They're like, 2 yards downfield or some crap like that. So, because everybody always calls Jaden Reed the wide receiver 1, and I've heard some people say, "Oh, well, Jaden Reed," like even our buddy Mo from the Viking fan is always like, "Well, Jaden Reed's your best receiver," and we're like, "Is he?" I don't know if he's our best receiver. I think he's good.
I think he's definitely the best after the catch.
Yeah,
because he's shifty and has good vision.
Well, I don't know. I think
can break some tackles.
I think he's the best after. He's the best after the catch. Romeo Doubs is the break glass in case of emergency guy. Where whenever you need a play,
and adjust to the wall.
Yeah, you need a play to happen, and you're in trouble. Just throw it to him. And then Christian Watson's a speed burner, tall guy who can freaking scare the crap out of everybody. And then Octavian Wicks is kind of like all those guys mixed together, but not as good as any one of them at the thing that they're supposed to do. And then, But this year he's got his drop problems.
Yeah.
So, I still think Octavian Wicks is pretty damn good after the catch, if you ask me.
True.
He's not quite as good as Jaden Reed. I think he's shiftier than Jaden Reed.
He probably is better after the catch than Jaden Reed. Yeah. I don't think he's good. He's not as strong or as good at maybe breaking tackles.
Yeah. Jaden Reed's kind of like James Jones with speed.
Yeah. And smaller.
Where Dontavian Wicks is more like Donald Driver with height.
Yeah, and he's a little bit thicker.
Yeah, because Donald Driver was only 180 pounds or whatever, but he was just so dang crazy. He'd be like, go, make you juke you out of your shorts 5 times.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's good stuff. I mean, I think you're seeing improvement that's great.
Yeah.
And like I said, this game from the highlights we showed, it's guys making plays. It's Carrington Valentine. Well, I haven't shown that yet, but whenever you want to do, we got plays we got to do. Don't we?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. All
right, let's do it. Hit your. I gotta bring up. Hit your thing. You're first, though.
All right, my play back a little bit to. I'll have my little not great JV football story after this, and I'll explain that's why my play of the game. But so there are many worthy plays in this game. Christian Watson's catch on the sideline, Romeo Doubs catch it, run dudes over with his monster abs, and then score a touchdown. Romeo Doubs picking the ball off the ground for the last touchdown. Amazing stuff. Carrington Valentine's great interception, like all kinds of great plays. Josh Jacobs running hard. Josh Myers getting a block. I mean, come on, you got to celebrate that.
Yeah, that happens once every. It's like the solstice or whatever.
All those things.
It's like the new moon.
Kingsley and Agbare, like totally stopping a drive all by himself, making every play.
By the way, I watched the All-22 on that. None of those plays looked nearly as good as they seemed on the show. He wasn't moving that fast. He barely really did anything. He just seemed to be the guy who was in the right spot when the quarterback ran toward him. So
he made the plays. He tackled.
But he did tackle him. He did tackle him. So hey, you got to do what you got to do.
But my play from this game was a play that they mistakenly thought was Kenny Clark for a second. The broadcast
I didn't.
team, and I was like, "That sure hell ain't Kenny Clark." Because it was quick as hell. And it was Devontae Wyatt getting a big spin move sack, beat his guy in like a split second. That's why Devontae Wyatt was my play for this game right here. Show the sack, baby. Let's see it. There he is. He's lining up right here at the left tackle spot. And watch him here. Quick as but hit the guy. Oh, he's already beat. He's already beat and done. And then he launched himself up in the air. Geno Smith, you're not getting away.
Yeah, it looks really
Just-
cool from the other angle.
Freaking Devontae Wyatt. He's crazy. Guy's over 300 pounds. How are you that crazy and fast? And Carl Brooks is even in there, but he can't be that fast. Carl Brooks had some good plays in this game, too. He always does, though. Carl Brooks got the double team this time. Wyatt 1-on-1. No way. Forget it, dude.
He did like one of those flying monkey or flying squirrels where he
Yeah.
both legs are out and both arms are out. I never like it. I never like it when you leave your feet, but hey, we'll count it.
Well, in this situation, though, like you're just sprawling, flying squirrel it, because if the quarterback starts to run one way or another, you're hoping to get him with a body part to trip him up or grab him or do something. And it was pretty awesome. But I just love the spin move here. Look how quick it is. Now, the reason why, as opposed to, in addition to this being like just an awesome sack and great play by a guy who we'd love to see even more and more and more of that sort of stuff from, this brought me back to my junior high days of football. All right, back in junior high, let me tell a quick story here. I'll take the video off. Tell a quick story. You can pause the video. Back in the junior high days, there were 3 Jasons, and we were all defensive linemen. I was a D tackle and playing at 160-pound D tackle. I was a sophomore. And then we had another Jason.
Junior high or JV?
Or JV, I'm sorry. God, dude, I don't know. JV football, sorry. Junior varsity, excuse me. And me, I was playing D tackle at 160 pounds. We had another Jason playing D tackle at 180-ish pounds. And then we had another Jason who was a junior who hung out with us a lot and was playing D, because we were all kind of smallish, so we didn't get to play on the varsity too much. And he was playing D tackle, D end as well. Now, I did not have a good spin move at all. I had a swim move, even though I was short, which made no sense, but I had a really good swim move. My other Jason was even shorter than me, and all he did was try to swim all the time too. He didn't really rip guys. He should have ripped, but he tried to swim over people all the time. So none of us had a good swim move, but Jason Wiegand had a dynamite spin move. I used to call him Tornado Wiegand, the way he could spin guys around. And that's what that Devontae Wyatt play reminded me of. Jason Wiegand, Tornado Wiegand, putting his spin move, pass rush on guys in junior varsity football. So that's what you have. All right, I'm bringing your video back up. You got to know you got to play for yourself. Jason Wiegand.
Yeah.
I never told anybody that I called him Tornado, but that's what I thought.
And where's Jason Wiegand? He's like a professor.
Yeah, before he was a little fat and he played on the D line, a little chubby, and now he like runs marathons all the time and looks in way better shape than you or I or whatever. And is at Iowa State. He's like a faculty member or an advisor or something, to the point where he knew Alan Lazard all in college, and Alan Lazard, he was a big Lazard fan because he knew him personally, because that's where Lazard went to college, Iowa State, and we knew him well and said he was a good dude. Alan Lazard is a good dude. I loved Alan Lazard. He's just not that. He's not worth $44 million, but he's still a good dude. All right, your oh yeah play of the game. What is it?
My oh yeah is Carrington Valentine.
Come on, Valentine.
Carrington Valentine. You're gonna watch him. This is man coverage, and he peeks at the quarterback.
Let's see it.
And says, "I'm not gonna cover Lockett. He's old." I know he wants to throw to freaking. Look at, he's peeking, and the ball is in the air.
Those two receivers are way too close together. That is dumb.
It is pretty dumb. And look at, there's nobody over here. Look at all this field with nobody.
Run somebody over the middle. What the
Look at Xavier McKinney is doing absolutely nothing. You're right. This is really a bad play call.
It's so stupid. 3 guys on that one side within like 10 yards of each other. Stupid.
I like that because it reminded me of Rasul Douglas.
It was a great read.
But this part reminded me of
is
Jair
dumb.
Alexander. This is Jair Alexander.
Yep.
So he went from Rasul
And look
Douglas
at
to
that
Jair
ball.
Alexander.
Look how
all in
far
one
the
play.
ball he had out
I
in
know.
like the 2-yard line.
He's-
It's like way the hell out here.
I know. It was
Show that
really
again. Sorry. I
it
didn't
was
mean
it
to
was
jump.
it was scary to watch, but it's just that's why. And it took points away, so it was a huge play. It was a huge
Yeah.
play of the game.
Huge play. Just sit down.
But
with
it brought me
Yancey
back
next
to Rasul Douglas type plays, right? Like,
Yeah.
he reads it, he sees the ball because he's cheating and looking at the quarterback, sneaks it,
Yep.
grabs it.
Okay, go down right there. Go down right
Yeah,
there.
go down.
Especially
What are
when the
you
guy
doing?
tries to tackle
Yeah,
you.
I know.
No.
Even Keyshawn was like, "You're going down, right?" Oh, he's not. Oh, what?
Look at this right here. Ooh, what the fuck are you doing? No. Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure every Packer fan right there for those 14 yards was like
Yeah, that's what I was.
sweating it and just like, would you just go down already? Oh my God.
Yeah, it wasn't this. It wasn't the smartest move in the world, but hey. Now let's watch this pass. Well, here's another thing. Halfley blitzes 6 guys. He sends 6 guys on this play. He sends Eric Wilson and Edrin Cooper, and that's why that play was able to happen. Look at
Smart.
boom. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white jerseys coming at the quarterback. And it's your guy Eric Wilson who got the pressure, Jace.
All he had was a running back there. That was his best play of the game.
Well, it helped set up a freaking pick.
Just go down. What are you doing, you moron?
So-
oh God. These guys that think they're gonna like, what does he think
Yeah,
he's
I
gonna
don't-
do?
I don't know what he's thinking.
From the corner of the end zone, what he's gonna take it back to the house there? Like, come on.
And look
dude.
at all flop. He's almost looks worse than Jair running.
He's Jair too,
But it's
he's
still,
like
oh, yeah.
Jair Jr.
Got hit the
All
yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. Let me get back to that. He deserves it. Good play, Carrington Valentine. Just go down next time.
yeah! Oh yeah!
Nice.
All right, there you go. Oh yeah, plays of the game.
Classically good.
Brought to you by nobody, because we don't have any sponsors.
Blueberry Blonde from Delta Beer Lab. You can actually taste the blueberry. It's pretty good. I didn't think I liked blueberry in my beer, but I like it.
You're weird. You know what Olivia likes? She likes the way that they say blueberry on the British Bake Off show or the Great
Oh,
Baking Show or whatever.
how do they say it?
They say blueberry.
Oh, blueberry. Yeah, I got it. I'm down.
I don't know why she thinks, but they say with their accent, and I don't know if I can do an English accent and sound good. I sound like a dingus, so I'm not going to try it. But they always say, like, blueberry instead of blueberry. They say blueberry.
I got you.
And she thinks it's awesome. My kid, she's kind of weird.
Lee, don't. I know he should have caught the one before, but it wouldn't have been as exciting as him catching this one. So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. He should just know Matt LaFleur was asked. Their coach, they coached the guys to just go down the end zone, take the touchback.
I'm sure they were coached to do that.
Coach him again, then go over that again. He actually said they showed a play earlier in the week about something like that, about interceptions and when to take them out and when not to take them out. Ironically, like 2 days before. But I can maybe Carrington Valentine missed that meeting, or I wasn't paying attention, or sleeping.
Listen, man, he's crazy, man. Have you ever, like you talk a lot about those videos where they ask the guys, they have the little question as they're walking to the meeting.
Yeah.
And they're walking down that hall. And Carrington Valentine is in every single one of those. And he's always just saying crazy crap and laughing his butt off. And just like, so a lot of the other guys are really boring. And he's like, and he's like, and he's doing stuff like that. And the guy's crazy. He's freaking like Looney Tunes. So I have no doubt that he intercepted. He was like, yeah, I'm taking it all the way. That's what he honestly thought in his brain. Maybe he didn't think about it at first, but when Tyler Lockett couldn't bring him down on the tackle, he was like, oh, I broke a tackle. I'm going to break all the tackles. I'm going all the way. But hey, he made an awesome play, and hopefully he can make some more.
I hope so. That's what we need. We need a good cornerback play if we can get it. Oh God!
But it was nice to finally watch a game where they dominated. They played great.
Easy, yeah.
They had a couple of lulls in the second half where we were getting a little worried, but Gino got hurt, and then they put in Howell, who apparently stinks and gets sacked a lot. And like I said, Jordan Love, 0 sacks. Jordan Love, 0 sacks. Seahawks quarterbacks got sacked 7 times.
7 sacks. Oof.
And it wasn't like Love was not getting pressured, because he was.
Right.
But he was getting away from the pressure. Backing up, throwing off his back foot, doing a good job. And I, like, as much as I was giving him crap for his throws earlier, you gotta be impressed with his ability to avoid that rush and avoid the sack and get the ball out somehow.
Yep.
And that's worth it's not worth $55 million. I can tell you that. I mean, that's Josh Allen. That's Joe Burrow. Have you watched Joe Burrow? There's a play of Joe Burrow. I don't know if you saw it this weekend, where I think he must have got away from 4 guys. And I don't even know. He's not even moving fast. He's just kind of like
He's not, and he's
got
not
like
fast.
no, but he's got like a sixth sense. He's like Spider-Man or something. Like he knows when a guy's coming, and he just kind of like is like whoop. He's like doing the Matrix and stuff, and then he squirts over here, squirts over there, and then he drills a touchdown to T. Higgins, and I was like, holy crap!
He has good like balance and lower body strength too, because he can kind of guys can be on his torso or his upper body and kind of shake him off, and then kind of move in the pocket and still throw it. Like he's not a guy that's going to race away from you and be all athletic like that. But yeah, he is really good at avoiding in sacks.
I don't know. I just,
Jordan Love kept plays alive, though. You're right, and
Yeah.
there's value in that, and that's huge.
But
'cause it looked like Howell like just turtled up some. I mean, he got some pressure, and I was like, "What are you doing? Like, try to get out of there, man."
I'm telling you, when you watching the Kingsley and Igbari plays, they're not that special. Like,
well, Ben sacks come in bunches. So
yeah, they do.
when
They
Sam
come-
Howell comes in,
Whenever you play the crappy offensive lines, or you play the Tennessee Titans who give up sacks more than anybody, and the Seahawks who give up sacks more than anybody, yeah, they come in bunches. That's so stupid. Sacks. That's just like they also say that about turnovers. Turnovers, they kind of come, because you play dumb quarterbacks. That's why the turnovers come, you dummies.
it's hilarious. What is the podcast are acting like Packers only did well because Geno went out? They were doing.
They were doing good
great
before that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
that was Geno threw that pick to Valentine.
Yeah, he did not look good before anyway. He looked like he was not very accurate, out of sorts for whatever reason.
And they're not throwing
only thrown to Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I know.
80%
You got
of the
freaking
time.
Metcalf is like a monster. He would destroy any freaking Packer corner.
Yeah,
And they don't even try to throw him the ball.
Who cares if he's
makes no
doubled?
sense.
He's like a freaking. If you had he's doubled by Eric Stokes and
I
McKinney.
know.
Throw it over there. Who gives
Kill
a
them
shit?
both. Yeah, it's dumb. I don't get it. Somebody said he's got like one target a game for like the last 3 games or something crazy like that. It's like,
That's stupid.
what's going on? Like they're just stupid. Like it's like the opposite of the Devontae Adams thing where we throw the ball to him for 35 times a game, and they're throwing it one time to freaking Metcalf, who's like a freaking freak of nature. Stupid.
Speaking of Devontae, apparently he had all of his catches and yards in the second half of the game.
Yeah, that's what you
And
said.
at halftime, he talked to Rodgers.
Oh, and he said, "Hey, give me some balls."
He apparently, and Rodgers was like, "Well, I respect him so much. I mean, he can talk to me like that because blah 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 blah." I don't know what he said. We had a conversation at halftime, some bullcrap, and then he just threw to him. He hit him on a 71-yard touchdown somehow. He got behind everybody. I don't know how that happened.
Well, did you see who they were playing against?
Yeah, the crappy Jaguars.
Did you see who a lot of those plays the safety was back
Savage?
there? Yes,
Come
it's Savage.
on.
And Savage on that 71-yard touchdown. Like I thought Savage was supposed to be fast.
He can't find the ball though. You know that.
No. This was after he caught it. He ran for another 30 yards after he caught it on that 71-yard touchdown. And
Wow.
Savage is behind him, and he's like, and he's not even catching up to him. And I'm just like, this is what is going on. I thought the one thing Savage could do was run fast. He can't even catch Devontae Adams, who's slower than freaking my grandma.
Now it's all fixed. See, it's all coming together. See, keep him around.
Savage is so bad, dude. Oh, thank God he's not a Packer anymore. I've heard some scary things. People are thinking that they're gonna do a Kevin King fiasco with Stokes.
No,
Even though they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, but they're going to give him like a $3 or $4 million 1-year deal to try to, because they have no corners on the team that are like right now that are worth anything.
draft him.
They will draft one, but they're gonna, because that's what they did with Kevin King. Do you remember
Ooh.
Kevin King was on the
Yeah.
roster the year they drafted Stokes with the 1st-round pick?
Yeah,
because that was when they traded for Rasul. And then Rasul wouldn't go in with the number 1 team, remember? Even though he was awesome and made a bunch of plays. And then Matt LaFleur went up to Rasul and was like, "Hey, you are a starter now. I don't know what you're doing." And then Rasul's like, "Yeah, but I'm not a 1st-round pick like Kevin King was." And he's like, "Kevin King sucks. Get your ass in there, Rasul Douglas, in the freaking with the number 1 team at number 1 corner."
Don't say it, Ben, and don't say it, Lee.
That's
I
what they're
don't like
talking
it.
about.
You
Some
could
guys
pick
are talking
anyone
about
off
it.
the street.
I
Just-
know.
Just get who. It doesn't matter.
Apparently,
Go give
Kevin King is actually on Atlanta's roster right now, or at least on their practice squad, one or the other.
What?
He's still
Give
there.
me Give me one of those other guys. Is Kalen King? Can you get him?
He's on
Can
the
you
practice squad of the Packers right now. They could freaking
put
put him on right now.
Put him on there.
Why is my voice so high when I go?
Because that's how we go. We go up when we're sometimes we can't go down.
Oh, I learned how to go down. I watched the video. You have to sing your lowest note. You sing your lowest note. You go whatever. You don't want to do like that, like a fry sound, like a. You don't want that. You want like a. Like a. Let it.
You're hilarious.
You do that for like 3 minutes, and after you do that, then you make your lower note lower, and it works. I was singing a F sharp, I got down to an E flat or a D sharp, so I dropped like a third in one morning. Not one morning, but it was actually the other day, night the other day. I was like, what?
JJ said, Jair ever going to get healthy? He's waiting for the really garbage quarterbacks to play.
Will Levis is getting benched. No more mail for you. I don't even like him.
Kirko getting benched too.
Kirko Chains is benched, yeah, or he's hurt or something. But I guess he's not playing this weekend.
Maybe he goes back to the Vikings.
No, the Vikings have to figure out what they're going to do with Sam Darnold.
He might be. How are the Vikings 12-2?
They have Aaron Jones.
God damn.
Hello.
What's going to happen?
That's like asking, why did the Packers do so good when they played Aaron Jones? Oh, yeah, because he's freaking awesome. And then you're like, why are the Vikings good? Oh, they got Sam Darnold, the quarterback? They shouldn't be good. Oh, yeah, they have Aaron Jones. I forgot. Oh, yeah, that's why. That's why, dude. They got Aaron Jones.
Partly, and also...
No, all the way, Aaron Jones, 100% is the reason why the Vikings are good. Ask Mo, he'll tell you.
Kevin O'Connell nurtures his quarterback.
He's a pretty good coach. I will tell you. He's a good. Okay, can we say one more thing?
Say it.
Since we're doing NFC North talk here.
How are the Vikings 12-2? I'm just blown away.
I want to do a comparison of 2 5th-round picks.
All right, let's do it.
One guy was a 5th-round pick. Nope. He was taken he was maybe the 9th running back taken that year. He was the 2nd running back on his own team taken that year. There's another guy after him. There was 3 running backs taken by that team that year. Saquon Barkley was in that draft. Alvin Kamara was in that draft. Christian McCaffrey was in that draft. All these superstar running backs. I think there was another. Nick Chubb, I think, was in that draft. All those guys were in that. Who?
Chubb hurt again.
Yeah. All those guys were in that same running back draft. It was like the greatest running back draft of all time, by the way. And Aaron Jones didn't get a chance right away. Finally did. Worked his butt off. Got a 2nd contract. Got paid decent. Did not let it go to his head. Was an honorable guy. He's honorable to the opponents. He's honorable with his teammates. He's honorable to his coaches. He's honorable to everybody. He's a great, awesome, awesome guy. And he still has a chip on his shoulder. He always says, oh, nobody gives me a chance. Nobody gave me a chance ever. And I just keep putting my head up and knocking down stuff and keep being awesome. And now I want to compare it to a guy who I used to like. And more this year, I've seen him and I don't like him anymore. Because he's a freaking punk-ass bitch.
Ooh.
And that guy is a 5th-round pick who I thought was good, who has an older brother who was in the league and who sucked. And he was a late rate, and he names all of the wide receivers that were drafted before him every time he talks about it. He's got a big chip on his shoulder. And he just got a huge contract, even though he's not a burner.
A fat one.
He's not a scary guy. He's a solid guy. He's a possession receiver, but he sure as hell ain't worth the money they gave him. But man, is he all of a sudden the biggest freaking smack-talking, jerk-face douchebag I've ever seen. And that's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not a fan anymore. I was a huge fan of him. I wanted him to be a Packer for the longest time because I love guys who are taken late, who get their shot, and when they get their shot, they grab it and they're awesome, right? That's Aaron Jones. Like that's Mike Daniels. Those are the kind of guys. Micah Hyde. Those are the type of guys you really love as a fan of football. You know, when you see a guy who's, Tom Brady, Brock Purdy, all those type of guys, they get a chance and they grab it and then they become a star or they become all that they possibly could be. And then maybe even more than what they even imagined. But the better player is the one who stays humble and stays honorable. Mm-hmm. And Amon-Ra St. Brown I used to think it was cool that he had a chip on his shoulder and cool that he would name all these guys that drafted before him and use that as motivation and all that kind of stuff. But now that he's gotten paid, he's become more of a diva and a douchebag. And he had a huge freaking fumble or a drop or something that caused the interception, or not interception, but like a fumble in the game against the Bills that really cost him. It really cost him because he only lost by 10 points, I think. And then, of course, they had to go, of course, the stupid Dan Campbell going for the onside kick with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Like, Dan Campbell's going to kill it. Like, if I was a Lions fan, I'd be like, dude, I love you because you're so cool and you got, like, a great personality, but you're dumber than a box of rocks, dude. You gotta, like, read the freaking situation. You don't go for a gosh dang onside kick with 12 freaking minutes left in the fourth quarter. You gave the ball at the 5-yard line, and they scored a touchdown right away. The whole time their defense was holding the field goals before that. It was dumb. But anyways, that's just something I noticed. I was a big, huge fan of Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he has really turned me sour. And I'm starting to be like, you know what? There was a time when I was like, I'd be okay if the Lions won a Super Bowl. It's like they never won one. It'd be nice to see the Lions win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. As
of right now, today, I do not want to see the Lions win a Super Bowl. And right now they're so hurt. I don't think they're going to get there because I think they got too many injuries. But the combination of Dan Campbell doing so many stupid things and Amon-Ra St. Brown being a punk ass bitch, I'm not a fan anymore. If the Packers can't win it and it's got to be something from NFC North, I'm going with my heart. Aaron Jones and the Vikes. That's what I'd rather see go if the Packers don't go. I would not have said that 2 weeks ago. But the more I've seen Amon-Ra St. Brown in all these interviews and all these, it's just, he's kind of a dick.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wore the Green Bay stinks, but he has Green Bay as one word because how many times have you played Green Bay? You don't know Green Bay is 2 words? Are you that freaking stupid, Amon-Ra St. Brown? I mean, you could speak German and English. That's better than I could ever do.
Yeah.
But you don't know how to spell Green Bay, even though you've played there twice or played there once every year for the last 4 years. I don't know. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents of the whole thing. I was a big Amon-Ra St. Brown guy, and now I am a negative on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Negative.
The big problem is if the Packers still had Rasul to whip his ass, then he wouldn't have been such a big talker in those games. But
well, that's true.
You don't have any defensive backs that are going to stand up to him. So,
well, I'm not even talking about Packer games. I'm talking about just. Right, I've watched a couple Lions games, and he's kind of like even the play where he pushed off on Keyshawn Nixon and then caught that ball over the middle, and he was all acting all like, I'm the man. And I'm like, dude, that was pass interference.
Yeah.
Like any normal person would be like, oh crap, I got away with one there. I'm not going to really demonstratize this whole thing. I'm going to just be cool and laid back and let's get the ball ready and kick the field goal and win the game or whatever it was. But he was all like cocky ass bitch. And I'm like, you didn't do shit all game.
Mm-hmm.
Like we took you out of the game.
I think the Packers could eat him up if they get a chance to go back there.
But... Oh yeah, they're going to beat him. They'll beat him, but I don't think they're gonna because I think they're going to get knocked out. Whoever they play first, they're going to lose. So they're going to end up playing. Because I don't even know. They got to win the division.
Now the stupid Eagles are.
I think the Eagles are going to somehow take the first number 1 overall seed because I think the Vikings are going to smack the piss out of the Lions, and they might even take the North.
Damn,
because I think they play yet one more time.
They do.
And they're both got the same record now because they both got 2 losses.
I would say this about the Vikings. So here's if you aren't on board with the Vikings winning it if the Packers don't win it and going to the Super Bowl if the Packers don't go, which actually I'm up for it because I always want to see Aaron Jones win a Super Bowl anyway. And he never got a chance to do it with the Packers. So also though, that would put the Vikings in such a weird position.
Oh yeah.
With their quarterbacks.
It'd be awesome.
It'll screw up their team for like the next 5 years because they'll have to pay Sam Darnold and sign him for
right. And it's not like he's playing that great. No, he just happens to have Aaron Jones on his team and Justin Jefferson on his team and all these other guys that are pretty good. And they're kind of making up for the fact that he does some crazy stuff. But it might be like a Joe Flacco situation where
right
make it
all
all
the
way
he gets
and then
the big money and then doesn't have the pressure on him to the prove it contract and all that. Yeah. It happens to a lot of guys, right? He could totally tank it, and then they're stuck with him and all this big money, and then the Vikings are back to garbage. Aaron Jones retires or comes back to the Packers, whatever, and then the Vikings stink for another 10 years because they won the Super Bowl this year. And maybe it's worth it to their fan base because they never won it. Fine, good for them. But it's not the worst thing in the world that could happen. I'd certainly
get a hold of.
I'd certainly love to see the Vikings win it rather than the Eagles. At this point, anybody else
I don't want
anybody else in the NFC, I'd rather see the Vikings.
Well, there's one guy I would like to see.
Who's that? What?
You know who it is.
NFC?
Yeah. One guy. I don't really care. The team just won a couple years ago with a different.
Oh, the
quarterback.
Baker.
Baker. I wouldn't mind if Baker did.
I wouldn't mind if Baker did.
Because Baker's freaking crazy.
He is crazy.
And it would just drive Mo nuts, especially if somehow the Tampa Bay ended up playing the Vikes.
Well, look how bad they make Aaron Rodgers look too. Like freaking Tom Brady wins it by going there, and then Baker a couple years later goes to Tampa Bay after her team wasn't really that good and wins.
Okay, that's another. This show is taking way too long, but that's another thing. Think about that, dude. Aaron Rodgers was acting like I am, a Mount Rushmore of all quarterbacks. I could just switch teams and go to a team with a good defense and a solid, weapons at offense, and I'm going to take them to the Super Bowl, just like Tom Brady, just like Peyton Manning, all these guys that just went, or Joe Montana, who took the Chiefs to the AFC Championship game. All these teams, Brett Favre, who got the Vikings to, the NFC Championship game. All these guys that were, star quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And Aaron Rodgers took a team over and got them 3 or 4 wins. It's amazing. It's amazing how far the world has fallen for him. Like, it's just sad. And it's not like anybody could see it coming. Like, nobody could see this coming, Jason. Nobody.
Right. Shocker to everybody.
Not a single. I can't think of anybody who could have seen this coming.
He's still getting paid. He's still getting paid his money for McAfee. He's getting his Enigmas out. I mean, come on. But I guess the Rams are kind of an interesting.
Rams are scary, dude. Rams are scary. Like, everybody's talking about the Packers beat the Rams. I'm like, yeah, well, they didn't have Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp.
Nope.
Or I don't even think they had Matt Stafford in that game. Maybe they did. I can't remember.
They did, but they didn't have any guys to throw to. So
yeah.
And Stafford played like garbage at times, but then he plays. I don't know. He could still pull good games out of his ass. So,
well, he's crazy. Like somebody was saying, I was watching the O-line committee, and they were talking about those. They were talking about Matt Stafford and talking about Baker, and they were saying they're like those guys. They're hunters, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just go at it. Like they might throw a couple picks, but they're like, they don't care. Like they're going after you. They're attacking and attacking and attacking. And he's like, it's so much fun to be on a team with those guys because like something awesome's going to happen. It could be bad. He's like, you got to get ready to tackle somebody, maybe. that's what the guy said. He's like, but hey, more often than not, we're moving the ball downfield and we're scoring points and it's super fun. He's like, it's way more fun. And he's like, and now you're starting to see the difference between you guys that are hunters and guys that are wussies. That's what they said. And I got to be honest, Jordan Love is kind of half and half because I think he thinks he's a hunter, but he's got the arm of a wussy. Oh, that was so mean, but it's true. I showed you plays.
It's almost like some of these guys they're like Favre light.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So then it's as long as it's not full Favre, it's kind of fun. But if it turns into like full Favre, then it's almost like too much torture for your fan base because at the worst possible times they're going to throw picks. These dudes like Baker and Stafford and stuff, they might throw a pick, but they might do something really great.
Yeah, I mean Jameis Winston. Yeah, he's probably the closest thing to Favre.
Yeah,
he prayed for God to help him not throw picks, and that didn't work because he threw a lot of picks. They had 6 turnovers against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs had like 4 turnovers. It was like 10 turnovers in one game.
Oh my God.
And you're just like, how in the crap? How does that even happen? And somebody said in the game against the Bills, Jared Goff had 5 touchdowns and lost. And there was a game earlier in the year where he had 5 interceptions and won.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the Bucs in a second, but because they just did something good. But I want your thoughts, everybody's thoughts, because I have not been a believer for pretty much his whole career on Josh Allen. I'm like, the guy just, he's got this crazy rocket arm, but he makes dumb decisions. He turns the ball over too much, like all this sort of stuff. But I don't know, like the way they're using him now, and as many like runs they're calling for him. Can this work? Can this last? Like other teams have done this and then the quarterback gets hurt, but he's kind of a bigger dude. And it's not like they've done this his whole career this way. I think the Bills are like, for this 1 year, we're going for it, right? We're going to take Josh Allen. We're going to use all of his skills. We're going to make him a running threat. We're going to do all that. And we're going to see if that leads us to a Super Bowl. And then if we get the Super Bowl, we're not going to do that anymore for a while because we want him to stay healthy. But I don't know. I mean, I was shit. Like, how do you stop him? He's just, if he takes off and runs all the time, it's amazing.
Well, I think that they have to do it that way, but they're getting help. I mean, James Cook looks really good. Like he's running fast out of the backfield. And if you give him a hole, he's gone. Like it's crazy how fast he is. And the receivers aren't anything to write home about, but they're pretty close to the Packers receivers. They're reliable guys. They got two really good tight ends and Knox and Kincaid. And he's able, and Josh Allen, like I remember there was an interview with him and Chris Sims. It was a couple years back where Chris Sims would go to like their practice facility of a quarterback and then just like play catch with them for a while and talk to him and stuff. There's a whole interview. And he asked Josh, he's like, well, what do you do to have such a strong arm? He's like, do you do a lot of working out and stuff? And Josh Allen's like, I don't work out at all. Like I don't lift weights at all. So he's just like country strong. He's just like a big monster, like strong, tough guy. Like he doesn't lift weights. He doesn't lift weights. And he's just big. He's like Ben Roethlisberger, except talented. But I mean, seriously though, he is.
Well,
he's way faster. He's got a better arm.
And,
and all that stuff. But he's still got the size. Like
come back. You froze. Come back.
One of those things where
there you go.
I got lost. I don't know if I got lost or you got
you're
lost.
Back. You're back.
I lost. Anyways, I was just saying he's crazy and he's good. And the difference is going to be, can he do it in the playoffs? Right? It's the same type of thing with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a freak of nature too. And you watch games where he takes it over and like he can move a ball. He can move the ball down the field with his legs or with his arm in like a split second. Next thing you know, he's scoring a touchdown. And there's other times where he can't freaking read the defense, or he's throwing he throws a 5-yard up pass and it's not accurate and it stalls a drive. You know, and that's the same type of thing. And that's the difference. If Josh Allen can do this when he hits the playoffs, keep doing what he's been doing. But those guys, like you got him and Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes all in the same conference. I mean, they're just lucky Joe Burrow's on a team with no defense at all, or else he'd be up in there too, kicking the crap out of everybody because he's killing it. He's killing everybody in touchdowns and yards and all this stuff. And the Packers on the NFC side, we just got a bunch of crazy guys like Baker and Matt Stafford, and then you got guys resurrection projects like Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, and it's like all the teams that are in the playoff hunt, or they're a rookie, like the guy from Washington,
right?
Daniels. So it's like, I don't know. The only guy, like Love, is almost the most talented guy out of the group. And we talked about his issues. He's got a couple, but he's getting better every game. I think like I said, his pocket presence is good. His mechanics in the pocket are much better than they were before. It's just his throws on the run, man, they stink. So he's got to.
You guys says
I think LaFleur needs to. I just think LaFleur needs to dial up some more plays. Like this last game, there was no LaFleur specials. It was all guys making plays, and that's what I think that's the differences between taking it to the next level for this Packer team. You have guys now who can really make a difference with Dobbs and Cooper and Watson and Jacobs and frickin' Carrington Valentine, maybe, who knows?
We'll see.
Devontae Wyatt with the frickin' spin move here and there. Stuff's happening, and those are all guys making a play, one-on-one, make a play, boom, they just made a play. Now, if you could also scheme that stuff up and guys actually do the right thing on defense, and then scheme it up on offense where you get easy throws for Love, and then get guys so they get the ball in motion when they're moving. That's a lot of things when it comes together that could really be worth doing something. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're going to get the Super Bowl, but they have a chance, and that's better than what I thought even like 2 months ago, right? Because I thought they were in bad shape 2 months ago, but they're coming around. The defense is still scary. Last week's video, we showed you all the freaking mistakes they made on defense. But I think it's very important that when you have an offense that can score 30 points, I would rather see the defense be aggressive and attack and get the offense more chances. Like, I hate it when we watch a game and they get like the ball twice in the half.
Yeah.
They got to stop. And that's because their defense is just kind of, staying back and doing stuff. And then the offense is more of a running offense. It's not like a high flying offense, but they do score a lot of points. But a lot of it is off of turnovers. So if the defense is getting turnovers, we're not really scoring the points because we're not getting as many possessions because we are now becoming a, drain the clock offense. So if we're playing back and sucking and, waiting for the other team to make a mistake, that's only going to take away possessions from us in the long run. I'd rather see him attack. If maybe you give up a touchdown once or twice, yep, you skip, but you're causing turnovers and you're giving the offense more chances at it. I think that's even better.
I think I like, and I think key things for them is I think they're better in good conditions versus sloppy or bad or cold conditions. So I'm fine with them going to Detroit, fine with them going to Minnesota. I'm fine with them going to Tampa for the most part. I don't love going to Philadelphia because the weather could suck. And that could be a problem, especially for the receivers and the quarterback. And, I don't know. And I thought it was weird in the beginning of this last game against the Seahawks, to think, oh, the Packers are really just pounding it down their throat. Like, this is the Packers? Who the hell are these guys? And then it kind of turned around and you didn't see that so much anymore. So I don't think they're all of a sudden a dominant physical running team with the offensive line. I think Jacobs is a pretty physical runner, but he has his limitations and he needs some blocking to get somewhere. And I don't think that they can get in a, bad weather game in Philly and try to compete on the ground. I just don't think it's going to be possible. So, but we'll see. But it is exciting to know that they, under the right conditions with the right matchups and the right path, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it. And I'd love to see the Bills make it from the AFC. We'll see if they can pull it off. I hope Josh Allen keeps his head on straight and they can keep doing it. And I hope their defense gets back to full strength and Sully's back. And I'd love to see him in the Super Bowl too. Give him a chance. Yeah. The Bucs are on ABC last night, so I had to watch part of it. I got a chance to watch like the second half, and it was pretty awesome, man. The Bucs won the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
The Emirates NBA Cup. So the kind of in-season tournament, which is kind of fun. And they had a rough start to the season. Everybody knows how bad it was, but they've really been playing a lot better lately. And something I saw last night, I mean, I think it helps, number one, that they're playing. And I don't know if the NBA has like really tried to crack down on the flopping and stuff even more, because they were it was getting really bad and they cracked down on it sort of. But then when the Bucks played the Celtics in the playoffs and they just flopped all the time, they got, you fall down like 50 times a game, you're going to get some offensive calls or offensive fouls called on the other team. And last night they're playing OKC and those guys were just like trying to be tough with Giannis. I'm like, that's a bad move, dude, because he's way bigger than these guys who are trying to guard him and they're trying to stay physical with him, and he just did whatever he wanted. But what I liked is that Giannis worked inside a lot. Like, they let him be big, and that's what the Bucks need to do, is be big and play big. And they played their big guys and they did some inside play. And they kicked it out to these guys who are shooting the ball well from the outside. And I don't know, why not? They could make it. I liked how they were playing together. Middleton was not there. Now that was, I think, a help.
Well, that's the reason why they won then.
Right? Because he didn't have his defensive struggles and stuff. But I will say Middleton just came back not that long ago. And what they were doing with him was the thing we talked about before, which was not starting him, but having him come off the bench.
That's how you do it.
Because otherwise there's not, if he needs his shots or needs to make his own shot and stuff like that, if you got Giannis and Dame and everybody out there, like, he's not going to get enough of his shots to be effective offensively and make an impact, but then he's going to be a big defensive liability. So put him out there with second team where one of your main scorers is off and he can be a primary scorer. And then you also have different defensive rotations to help him out. So if he comes back and they keep Middleton as a non-starter, I think they have a good chance. Because as a shot maker, he's still effective at that. So I don't know. I like what's his name? Is it like Tayshaun Prince's kid? Is that who this is?
I don't know.
Taurean Prince. I think it might be Tayshaun Prince's kid. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But he's like the highest 3-point percentage shooter in the NBA this season. He's shooting like over 50% for threes. So, and basically all he does is hang out there for like kickouts and stuff. You know, he's waiting for the pass and then he gets it and he shoots it. So he's a pretty good defender and all that good stuff. Gary Trent Jr. is a pretty good defender, playing okay for them.
So he's Michael Redd, but he can actually shoot.
Yep. And Damian Lillard is still creating his own shot at times, but he has embraced what I was hoping he would, which is being more of a spot up shooter at times too. So that's good for him. And I will say last night when things were getting a little tight, they kicked it out to Brook for like a 28-foot three. Psh, nothing but net. And then the next trip down, Brook again. Psh, nothing but net. And then the game was over.
Nice.
So I was wrong about Brook. I said they should get rid of him. He's looking a little more spry on the defensive end. He's getting rebounds. He's playing big. And then when they need him to splash some deep ones, he goes out and splash some deep ones. So why not? They could do it. They could totally do it. I could see it. Andre Jackson. Yeah. He's that dude's crazy. He's like, they start him right now and he's not a good shooter at all, but he plays defense real hard and does a lot of the other stuff. So he's a good, like, why do you need another scorer guy in the starting lineup? No,
there's only one ball.
Yep.
I don't know why teams like the Bucks back in the 90s in the early 2000s. That's why we had Darvin Ham and Scotty Williams in the starting lineup for a couple of years there. Like they ain't going to score that much. We have Big Dog and Ray and Sam. Those guys are shooting all the time. So you use Scotty Williams and Armin Gilliam and whoever else these guys were back then who were just, whoever those guys were, who were just there to like, get a couple baskets here and there.
Anthony Mason for one.
Anthony Mason. Well, no, that year didn't work. But, and then Tim comes off the bench, Tim Thomas, and starts draining threes and doing great stuff. And, and that's because he worked better on his own. Him and Ray, like they do him and Ray together. They give Big Dog a shot, little rest, and have Ray stay out there and give Sam a rest and bring in Vinny Del Pino. And there you go. And he would, dribble with his back to the basket and all that. It was great.
But that's why I don't understand like some of these teams where they're like, stack up all the scorers and play them all in your starting line. It's stupid. You got to have guys that are literally just on the court pretty much to get rebounds and play defense.
Right. Because to be honest, it takes a lot of energy to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to be a great, great, great player to be able to score the way they need you to. And then also play defense and all that stuff the way they need you to. Like Giannis. Like we have one Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis is crazy. He had some crazy blocks last night. They were like ridiculous.
Right. But
ridiculous blocks.
Other players aren't going to be able to do that. But if you have a guy who's strictly like defense monster shutdown guy, hey, that's his job and he's awesome at it. Or a guy who just gets rebounds or whatever. Or just a guy who's super smart,
Yep.
That's like Scotty Williams. I love Scotty Williams, one of my favorite guys because he was just super smart. He wasn't a freaking crazy man, but he helped. He was a leader on the team, and we got screwed by the refs.
If he got an open shot, he can make it. That's that's the way you got to be a competent or like you have to be an NBA standard player where if you get an open shot, you can make it.
Yeah, but nowadays I don't think all the guys can do that.
But you don't have to create your own shot. You don't have to be like these crazy dudes who create their own shots and like pull up the, these wild, crazy shots and they make them. But if you get a, baseline jumper or you get an open three, you got to be able to at least make those, good percentage of the time or whatever. And then you play hard and you play defense. And it seems like, so they were trying to do that last year, but they also needed more shooting. And it didn't work out in the end. And now this year they went a totally different direction with some of these guys. And actually, Thanasi is not on a team anymore. Thanasis is not on the Bucks roster, but he's been in attendance in the last 14 games, and the Bucks are 13-1 since Thanasis started attending games. So apparently, the whole key was not the players, not the coaching, nothing else. But that Thanasi's got to be at the game, cheering on the Bucks, cheering on Giannis, and then they win.
What are you talking about? They had Greg Ostertag, JJ McQuaid. Greg Ostertag was the great white mountain of. All right, he wasn't that good.
Rest are mostly defenders. Yeah.
They had Greg Ostertag, and they had what's his face.
It's a little different game now with the way guys just chuck up threes and they can run up and down the floor. But
Hornacek, they had Hornacek. He could shoot some threes.
Yeah, but the teams, I think the Bucks need to be who they are, which is a big team, and they need to play big. No matter if they're playing against these quick, smaller teams, like OKC was a smaller team, but the Bucks played big against them, and it worked. They were behind early in the game. It was close in the whole first half, but then OKC couldn't hit their outside shots, and the Bucks kept playing big and attacking the rim, and they won. So when you have big guys, you got to play big. You can't screw around. Yeah. Bobby Portis, he wasn't trying to dribble against these little quicker guys. He would have turned it over. So he just either passed it or went down low or shot a jumper. But he wasn't going to try to take those guys off the dribble because he would turn it over. You don't play little against the little guys. You play big against the little guys. And if the Bucks do that, they could win. Hornacek, yep, you got Hornacek. You guys know the 90s. All right. Anyway, I like Andre Jackson. I like how it's coming along. And maybe they shouldn't have fired Doc Rivers. Maybe he should stay. Maybe it's true. Stay.
They did.
No, they didn't fire him, but everybody was calling for him to be fired after they started terrible.
Yeah, well, yeah,
but you got to stick with somebody.
They should fire him and hire Darvin Ham.
There were rumors that Giannis hated Darvin, and he wanted Darvin gone. But I don't think that's true either because they seem to get along really great. So I don't know.
Hire Vin Baker.
Vin Baker's still there.
Well, make him
he trains the big guys.
Well, of course he does.
He's a great big guy coach.
Make him the coach of everybody.
Would be awesome. He could be. Damn, Vin Baker.
Hire Andrew Bogut to hire the coach the big guys.
Bogey. He would be awesome too.
Hire Brandon Jackson to.
He's crazy.
He's everywhere lately. He's got
his. Yeah, that dude had like
podcasts and all kinds of stuff.
55 points in a game. He's a little twerp. I don't know. And he had the most points in a Bucks game until Giannis outscored him at that time. So, all right. Well, anyway,
it was good. Packers against the Saints.
Packers against Saints.
Monday Night Football.
Oh, knee. Saints are weird, and their quarterbacks are a mess.
But they got a coach who's crazy. He yells at his punter.
They do, and do they still have Taysom Hill? Is he still healthy or not?
He's been hurt, but he might be back. I have no idea. Okay. I think Kamara's a little bit banged up. I think their defense stinks.
I think the Packers defense will
Packers can't. They should be able to beat the crap out of them, but who knows? I mean,
a win.
They should be able to beat them. If they beat the Seahawks, they should crush the Saints. They should crush the Saints. It's at Lambeau. They should be able to crush the Saints at Lambeau on Monday Night Football. No problem. Let's go.
I'm going to say 27-17 Packers.
No, it's going to be like 35-10.
Crush. IR for Taysom. 35-10? 35-10?
No Derek Carr.
No Derek Carr? For sure.
So that one guy is supposed to be pretty crazy. The 5th round pick this year, quarterback, who they finally played. What's his name? Crazy. I don't remember what his name is, but he's supposed to be good.
The Saints used to have a good defense, but
yep. See, JJ McQuaid, 35-10. He agrees.
35-10. Damn. All right. If Jair's back, then yep, they'll dominate. Just kidding. Jair will come back for this one because it's some schlubby quarterback or yeah, he'll be back.
Well, no, I think they're going to start. They're not going to start the schlub. They're going to start the rookie.
Okay.
Rookie 5th round pick, whatever his name was. I can't remember. Somebody will tell me in the comments.
Packers will win. It'll be 11-4. and still in third place in their division. That's just dumb.
No, it's all right. They're gonna make the playoffs. All you gotta do is get in.
Yeah, if they win this one, they're in. So that's it. Woo!
Please closer to
26-16
you.
Packers run the clock out early. I think they will probably run the clock down. Just keep giving it to Jacobs. 35 carries in this one.
Probably.
Cooper, 2 sacks.
I would like to see a little more Emmanuel Wilson running the ball if possible. That would be great.
Yeah.
But
JJ's calling for his boy B. Cox Jr. a sack. JJ wants all the sacks. He's buying into that 7-sack performance the Packers just had. To get more sacks. I could use it. 28-0. Come on, Jonathan.
it might be.
Ooh. The Saints are going to be that bad?
No, I don't think so. But never know.
Damn. All right. Well, they still got MVS. He's still catching
That's
like a
true.
deep,
MVS, he'll catch a touchdown.
he's still catching a deep one every game. It's so crazy.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go to bed.
All right, let's go. You guys enjoy the game more than you enjoy this show. But anyway, we appreciate you all. Jonathan,
Show.
Lee, Kelly Packer, everybody that showed up. Jonathan, JJ McQuaid, Dad, anybody else that catches it after the fact. Appreciate you guys. Be good, stay good. All right. We will be back next week for another Packer win. 11-4 Green Bay Packers.
And maybe we can get special guests for the Viking week. We'll see.
Vikings Packers time might change, right? Isn't that what I heard recently?
More than likely it'll change because it's a big
'cause it's
game.
a
But
nooner. Right now it's a
Yeah.
nooner. Yeah,
I got a
take it
feeling
off.
it'll change to something else, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if
All
we
right.
can get Viking Mo on maybe, but it's tough. Christmas time, there's a lot of crap going on.
One game at a time, one play at a time. We'll catch you guys next week.
Tell me why, baby, you to come. Must you